Okay, folks, this is a sample of a problem that the students are dealing with right now. Just be aware of a couple things. One, every student in the class has a mildly different problem, and where they are different is just here and here. Okay? This gives some variety so that the kids can't copy off each other, but the nature of every problem is almost identical. Second thing is that where it says they're asked to use, they're using solving the linear system by hand, that would be called the addition method or the substitution method. They have notes for both. Check the email that I sent this link to you in. There's a link to the notes to all the steps there. You can print them for the students if they need access to them. They should have them in their notes as well. Okay. So I'll give you an idea of what this looks like. They've got to be able to solve the problem by hand because then it moves into a doing it on your graphing calculator, a version where they have to do it there too. So they're really doing the problem twice. I'm going to do it once here. So let's take a look. Please solve the following using a linear system by hand. You can either use the addition method or the substitution method. Again, refer to the link in your email for steps how to do this. I'm going to model it now. Then solve another TI-83 emulator. Hopefully I'm going to do another little quick video for that, for what kids are expected to do so you can help that along. Okay. Suppose you have a piggy bank that only contains nickels and quarters. Suppose that the total number of coins in the bank is equal to 19. Suppose that the total value of these coins is $2.95. How many of each coin is in the bank? Well, the one thing I ask the kids to do is kind of start with the question where it says how many of each coin is in the bank. Well, that must be the things you don't know, so they're the things you have to find. So those are probably what the variables are going to be, because we usually tend to find the values for the variables. So I'm going to say that here that x is the number of quarters, and y is the number of nickels. Okay? Now there's two equations I can derive from this word problem. Okay? I'll do this one in red where it says the number of coins in the bank is equal to 19, the total number of coins. Well, that would mean that I would take x and y and add them together, total number of coins, and it would be equal to 19. The second one is trickier. Okay, the second one is, I'll do it in green. It's where they talk about value. Okay, suppose that the total value of these coins is $2.95. Well, again, it does seem like I'm adding something. I'm going to get $2.95 when I do it. Okay? Well, I guess what I'm adding is going to be here is going to be the value of the quarters. Okay? And then here, I better be having the value of the nickels. Okay, well, to figure out the value of any number of quarters, you take the number of quarters and multiply it by 0.25. Similarly, for nickels, you take the number of nickels and multiply it by 0.05. This represents the linear system that they're now going to solve. Okay? So, to solve that, let me rewrite it here so I can work with it. I'm going probably to apply the addition method or the substitution method. Okay? Now this might get a little foreign for you guys. Some of you, I'm sure it's in your abilities that you're solid math people. Okay? What I'm going to do is apply the substitution method because I'm going to look up the top equation and say, you know what, it's very easy to get a letter by itself there. And what I'll do is I'll subtract x from both sides to get y by itself. So I'm going to rewrite that equation as y equals 19 minus x. From there, because I know what y is, that it's 19 minus x, I could plug it into that value for y. So that is going to give me 0.25x plus 0.05 times, again, this that I just circled in red is equal to y, so it's interchangeable, equals $2.95. Okay, so from here I'm just going to get x by itself and find out what x is. So that's going to give me, let's see, 0.25x plus, now I'm going to distribute, which is going to give me 0.05 times 19, which is 0.95 minus 0.05x equals $2.95. And I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to see that I get 0.20x plus 0.95 equals 2.95. Subtract 0.95 from both sides. And then I'm going to get 0.20x equals $2. Divide both sides by 0.20, 0.2, take your pick. That's going to be $2 divided by 0.2. This says that x equals 10. Okay, now I'm only half done here because I got to take my x equals 10 and plug it into one of the original equations. Well, I'd like to think I'm going to pick the top one because it looks a lot easier to work with. I could plug it into the bottom one and get the same answer, but 10 plus y equals 19 looks awfully easy to deal with. So when I subtract 10 from both sides, I get y equals 9. Okay, now to answer the question, I said that x was my number of quarters and y was my number of nickels. So it's 10 comma 9 is the point. So it's there are 10 quarters and 9 nickels in the bank. This is the solution. They're encouraged to check their solution by plugging both numbers back into the original equations and making sure that they in fact create true statements. Now from here the kids are going to go to the graphing calculator, but they really need to get their problem correct before they go to the graphing calculator, just so that they're not thrown off. Okay, so I'll model that on another video and we'll see how that goes.